Right and wrong.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Ooh, welcome to Right and Wrong. This is the show where we try to wake up the woke by talking common sense about the issues of the day. I'm your host, Brian Ruka, and with me as always over there is my man and yours, producer Juice. He's known out there on the World Wide Web as the Truth Box because he loves to just spit the truth all day, every day. Truth Box. What do you get to say to all the people out there in the Right and Wrong audience today, my friend?
No, it's just, I'm sure everybody's happy that your cameras looks a lot better. I don't have a lot to say at the moment, but I'm sure I'll interrupt you in many times coming up shortly. But at the moment, nothing. Excited to get going. Let's do it.
I love it. In many times, baby. Let's go. So if you're a football fan like I am and the Truth Box is, then you already know that this end of a season here is kind of like the end of an era. Bill Belichick is out in New England. Nick Saban, he's hanging him up at Alabama. And good old Mr. Pete Carroll, he'll be chewing gum on a porch near you in his backyard, front lawn, something like that, as opposed to on an NFL sideline next year. So with these three men come 8 national championships, 7 Super Bowl wins. That's the kind of hardware these guys have together. They are no doubt 3 of the greatest coaches to ever do it in the sport of football. Belichick is arguably the best one to ever do it in the pros. Saban, without a doubt, is the greatest college coach of all time. And good old Petey there, he might be the best to ever do it in both college and the pro game. I'm sad to see this day come. I'm a lifelong Pats fan, and I've always felt lucky to be able to live through this Belichick-Brady era here in New England. But I'm sad because, like I said, it's the end of an era. I'm not sad that they're canning Belichick. It was the right thing to do, and his time has come. In reality, they probably did this a year too late, maybe 2 years too late. But he had built up some goodwill along the way, rightfully so. What I'm sad about is the changing of the guard that's going on here. As these old school coaches start to move on and go the way of the Game Boy or a Sega Genesis, they're being replaced by these analytical nerds. As the league and sports in general become more obsessed with playing the percentages, we start to lose that gut feeling instincts that coaches used to live by. We're losing that on the sidelines. Guys who would go with the moment, rely on their instincts. They're being replaced by these geeks. So what's happening now is these guys who are more comfortable in front of a spreadsheet than in front of a locker room of men, they're grabbing their inhalers and they feel more comfortable behind their play sheet. That's who's taking over. So say what you want about Saban, about Carroll, about Belichick, but these guys had some personalities. They had their own unique style of coaching football and their own unique identities, and their teams would adopt those identities. I'd love to see what a team would adopt if they tried to take on the identity of Dennis Allen, Zach Taylor, Jonathan Gannon. Does anybody even know who those guys are? Could you pick them out of a lineup? You know you don't want them taking on what you don't want them taking on.
No, I just are they in front? They comfortable in front of a locker room of men?
I don't think so. So say what you want. Like I said, it's because these guys are boring, analytical nerds, and they're trained to do what the computer tells them to do. And you know what it's done? It's made people less like ready for the moment. Why sit there and defend a decision you made because you knew it was the right thing to do in the moment when you can fall back on saying, oh, the computer told me what to do. Oh, the percentages told me. Oh, the stat sheet said to do this, this, and this. then it's a way to try to get yourself from being blamed for anything. And if you're afraid to be blamed for something, if you're afraid to lose, if you're afraid to make the wrong decision, you're never going to have the balls it takes to win and to go out and take something and to earn it. You're just going to be stuck in no man's land. And that's what I'm sad about. So as annoying as it could be at times, something tells me that we're going to miss the days of Mr. Bill Belichick answering questions with, I did what was best for the team, which we all know was code for, I did what my gut told me to do. And with that being said, I think it might be time to welcome in our good friend, Mr. Ric Flair, because guess what, Juice? It is showtime, baby. Woo!
Showtime! Woo! Woo!
All right. So, first topic that I'd like to jump into today is the Iowa caucus that happened last week. And I realize we're recording on Tuesday night. It's the New Hampshire primaries going on tonight. So basically,
I think Trump's already won that.
Already sealed the deal? Perfect.
I think so.
Not surprised.
I'll put it in the comments or I'll jump back in a second.
I love it. But the whole theme here with the Iowa stuff, you don't have to go away. You can come on back. But this whole Iowa stuff is the fact that after one night of a primary, it's already determined that your boy, Mr. Trump, has won. I can concede. I'm man enough to say, hey, I like Ron DeSantis. I still like Ron DeSantis. I still think the guy would be a great presidential candidate. He got his ass kicked by Trump. It wasn't his time. It wasn't his moment. And you know what? He did the right thing less than a week after the primaries, and he stepped away. Our favorite guy that we never heard of before this primary, Vivek Ramaswamy, he stepped away. But because they all know, like, and that's good. That's what you should do. But I don't begrudge them for trying to become the president. They should have. That's fine. But long way of saying Trump smoked in Iowa.
Should have waited.
I don't think he should have. I don't.
I think he hurts his chances for 2028.
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he learned a little something. Maybe it's,
the boots with the boots.
See those boots.
He definitely needs to work. I think that's real. All right.
Dude, he needs to work on that awkward smile thing. I've
seen this picture of him at like a bar where he was just like everyday man, just having a beer, like after defeat. Did you see that photo
with the boots? Oh no, I didn't see that. Took the boots off. Okay, good. Yeah. He's the best governor I've seen. Guy's wielding power phenomenally, but he's going up against Trump's probably the most popular politician we've ever lived through. So it's a buzzsaw, and I'm all in all, I'm happy for it. I want Trump to win. I never not liked Trump. I just worry about, the housewives in the suburbs voting for him or whatever, or the friggin' Democratic Party stealing it from him.
Meek Mill and all like these
that's true.
And stuff. He's like, who the hood's rooting for.
Good. I like that. We all know one group of people that are definitely not rooting for him. And a couple of things we're going to show you guys here and react to is MSNBC's, right? It wasn't CNN. It was MSNBC. Their coverage of the Iowa caucus, specifically Michael Knowles' doppelganger, Rachel Maddow, and what they did, the way they talked about us as Republican voters after Trump cleaned house in Iowa. You want to go to the first one we have, Juice?
Picture takeaway from that, and I don't mean to be, again, too dark, as you said, on this, but it is not, if we are worried about the rise of authoritarianism in this country, we are worried about potential rise of fascism in this country, if we're worried about our democracy falling to an authoritarian and potentially fascist form of government, the leader who is trying to do that is part of that equation. but people wanting that is a much bigger part of that
That's
equation.
right.
And the American electorate is made up of two major parties. One of those parties has been flirting with extremism on the ultra-right for a very long time. They've brought them in a way that they haven't been central to Republican electoral politics ever before, and I know because I've been studying this. But once you have radicalized one major party so that those are the preferences of the people who adhere to your party, the leader's interchangeable. And yes, Trumpism is sometimes what we call it. MAGA movement is probably a better way to do it. But there is an authoritarian movement inside Republican politics that isn't being bamboozled by Trump. They are pushing Trump to get more and more extreme, because the more extreme things he says, the more they adhere to him. And that is coming from a very large proportion of the American right that adheres to the Republican Party. And that's why this is a Republican Party problem more than it is the problem of one man.
A Republican Party problem. Trump said it I think it was in his original run to the presidency. They hate me because they hate you. And it's so true. I mean, she spells it out there for you. The authoritarian figure is interchangeable. Once you convince these idiots, these rubes, these people like us,
deplorables.
Yes, exactly. And I hate what she went to too in one point there halfway through. And I know because I studied this. Like, F off. Like, we're supposed to be impressed with your education, whatever you studied. You live in an echo chamber and they tell you what you want to hear. And you live in a world where you know, your feelings get hurt and you want somebody put in jail for it. So crazy.
I'm just confused about what he did that was so authoritarian, besides like the fake news of January 6th, which is like basically been proven false, right? Are we still working on that? Because otherwise, what else is like authoritarian fascist? Like what
did he do that wasn't that he didn't use the levers of government to do?
And besides, like Biden doing okay, Supreme Court says you can't forgive the loans. Oh, we're gonna do that anyway.
Do it anyways.
You know,
we're gonna use OSHA to push a vaccine on every working American out there. That's not authoritarian.
What about we get into this later in the docket? But like, it's bananas. Like, she's like the MAGA movement. Okay, you know, make America like America first type stuff. And then like, you know, this week, you know, Texas was whatever part of Texas.
Yeah,
we're going to secure this border, and then there was a Supreme Court decision to say that the federal government can say you can't let them in. Like, is this?
They're cutting,
are we
cutting
watching the
barbed
same
wire
story?
Yeah,
Are we watching the same thing?
It's insane, and we've made the point on this show before, but the Democratic Party have never seen such a thing of the amount of projection that goes on from them is insane. Everything they accuse Trump of, the things they accuse us of, are how they live. That's the way they want to rule. They rule by forcing things on everybody else.
Take you off the ballot if you like.
Exactly.
Isn't that
what's more
like
authoritarian than that?
Yeah. What's anti-democracy other than like you can't be on the ballot?
Yeah. We have to save democracy by completely upending and uprooting every democracy norm we've ever known out there. Like, absolutely ridiculous. I studied this. Crazy. And at one point, that wasn't the worst thing. I guess it's pretty bad. But yeah, this probably was worse than that. The other clip we have from her where she lets all the viewers out there know that they're not going to show this authoritarian dictator, Nazi that's known as the Republican nominee. We're not going to let him speak live to you, the audience, and let you decide what's going on. We're going to
as if
decide for you.
You know.
At this point in the evening, the projected winner of the Iowa caucuses has just started giving his victory speech. We will keep an eye on that as it happens. We will let you know if there's any news made in that speech, if there's anything noteworthy, something substantive and important. The reason I'm saying this is, of course, there is a reason that we and other news organizations have generally stopped giving an unfiltered live platform to remarks by former President Trump. It is not out of spite. It is not a decision that we relish. It is a decision that we regularly revisit. And honestly, earnestly, it is not an easy decision, but there is a cost to us as a news organization of knowingly broadcasting untrue things. That is a fundamental truth of our business and who we are. And so his remarks tonight will not air here live. We will monitor them.
And there's a reason why we and other normal Americans have decided to tune all you lunatics out.
Yeah, not trust you
nobody
because
listens.
you won't give two sides of a story.
It's nuts. Like
we will this will be your safe space. We will not let you see the winner of the thing.
If he is so bad and so corrupt and so authoritarian, let him speak in his own words and let all of us be like, this guy's Looney Tunes. This guy's nuts. Let the people decide. Don't sit there and sift through it for us and then give us the pieces that you deem to be relevant. Like that's.
But they do the complete opposite. They do the complete opposite with Biden. Manufactured question from somebody with a manufactured response. Show that. Don't show the blunders and the idiocracy that is
exactly. Like how I don't know how somebody can watch those programs, can watch that channel, can believe the stuff that these people spew out there to them. I just don't understand it. Like I'd like to know from a rational person. Put it in the comments if you're out there, but let us know like who's buying this stuff. Like honestly, who watches that and how can you watch that and not like raise your eyebrow? Whether you could be the biggest Dem in the world, a super lib.
They don't buy anything.
Hate Trump,
they loot it. They loot it.
That's a good one. I like it. But it's crazy. All right. I mentioned the fallout from the Iowa caucus earlier. Vivek dropped out. DeSantis dropped out. Chris Christie dropped out beforehand. I was really pulling for him. I thought he had it. So the field has gotten out of the way. I believe we did see, we were going to grab some stuff from Vivek because we love listening to him, but we ended up scrapping it. But he supported Trump, got on board. DeSantis, I'll give him that. Like he, suspended his campaign, said he has to support Trump as well. And Trump, I'll give him this. Tip your cap to him. Guy's a gracious winner. He these people are bowing out and he's not trashing them on the way out the door. He had something nice to say about Ron DeSantis. I think we might have that too, right, Juice?
He just said, will I be using the name Ron DeSanctimonious? I said, that name is officially retired.
That guy's a stand-up comedian, man.
That's
phenomenal.
The same flow of the you're fired, right? Retired.
He's officially retired. It's great. We won't use the name Ron DeSanctimonious. He's no longer DeSanctimonious. He's just Monious. And he's a Ron. He's a good Ron. And gotta love his wife, Casey. God bless you. Retired.
Beautiful couple. They're beautiful. He's done a beautiful job down in Florida.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
Ron Monious.
And I don't fault them for that either. That's something that pisses people off with Trump. It's like, go ahead. If they're your rival, I won't go at them. That's fine. If to be honest with you, I think that was one of the reasons that hurt. I almost called him DeSanctimonious. That's one of the reasons that hurt my man Ron in Florida. I don't think he was aggressive enough at Trump in fear of losing the hardcore Trump voter, which he might have anyways, but He just got smoked, and I never felt like he took a real swing at the king either. Where Trump's never afraid to do that. So say what you want about him. That's what he's great at.
I wonder if he would have done the opposite. I don't think so. I don't think he has it in him. But like if Ron won by 40.
Oh, no way would Trump have done that. No way.
You didn't watch it? Wasn't that the
fake Ron? Wouldn't have happened. But yeah, I mean, I think that's what Trump, DeSantis, I think that's what he lacked, was that killer instinct to really go after him. But yeah, Trump, as soon as it's over now. So I'm not going to go trash him. He won scoreboard. So that's it. I guess that's pretty much all we got there. The Republican primaries are over, effectively. We know that. So that proved it if we didn't know it already. And like Juice said,
yeah,
New Hampshire's
like,
pretty much
like
over.
Even it is. I think it's a check mark even from the libs.
So, but if she sticks around, like she's just wasting people's time.
I don't think they'll I don't think she'll get funds anymore.
Yeah, people stop donating.
Right.
And her next state is South Carolina, is her home state, and she's losing there too. So she just needs to step away as well. And let's just, instead of Republican on Republican, let's start going after the dead man walking, the weekend at Bernie's president.
It's crazy that like this guy's like a candidate.
It's nuts. Absolutely nuts.
That's who they're running.
Crazy. All right. You want to move on to some of the funny clips or some interesting clips that we found throughout?
Yeah, but I have like if we're talking Biden, Trump again, I got something that pulls into both, or no?
All right, what do you got?
Okay.
I could read that teleprompter all day long. Biden can't even read the teleprompter. The other day, Matt, he's given a thing. He's a news conference because he hasn't had one in about 6 years or something. Can't have it. You can't have a news. So he picks he goes, Bill from NBC, over here. So the guy asked him a very simple question, like about vanilla ice cream. But then they actually asked him a question about a border or something. So he goes, they ask him a question, Bill from NBC, they ask him a question. The border is very strong. It's very normal, and things are going very well on the border. Oh, thank you very much for the news conference. Thank you. And then he walks into a wall.
That's unbelievable. Oh, guy, like how can you hate that? He definitely says some stupid stuff from time to time, but that's gold. Yeah. Is he wrong? Tell me anywhere in there that he's wrong. He nailed it.
Yeah, definitely walks into a wall, loves ice cream, and does get fed questions.
Looking around, supposed to go to from NBC.
Like, remember that? Like it was a couple of years ago now, probably like, take your seat.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, he reads like the parts like that are in parentheses.
Lady. Yeah. Thank the people for show. Take your seat. Oh my! Is that my seat?
Take your seat.
Yeah, they had to say your seat.
Oh, it's great. Oh, remember, bow, kneel, shake. Like, they give him everything. Stand, state your name. But Trump is just awesome. I love it. That stuff's hilarious. What else we got? We got a good one from our boy, Mr. Peter Ducey.
Mr. Ducey. We do.
Do we need to set it? It's about New York, right? With the hotels.
Yeah, New York.
Oh, that school, when they closed the school that day.
State. Yeah.
They closed the school that day to house migrants in there instead. And Ducey was asking
immigrants
who's his favorite press secretary about it.
Immigrants first.
Yeah.
First, a whole high school in New York is having remote classes today because the building was needed to house people who came into this country illegally. So what is the president's priority in this case? Is it the migrants or is it the students?
So let me just clear this up a little bit. So yesterday, New York City informed us that as a precaution, They would temporarily relocate migrants staying at Floyd Bennett Field to a nearby high school. As of this morning, all migrants have returned to the facility at Floyd Bennett Field. And so anything specific as to the program and what decided to do and all of the specifics to that, I would certainly refer you to New York City for any additional questions.
But if a working parent had to call out to stay home with their kid today, isn't this Biden immigration policy literally taking money out of people's pockets?
So let me just say, I'm going to actually go back to your first question for a second, because I think I do need to address that, which is, when it comes to education, migrants, the economy, the president deals with multiple issues all at once. That is his job. There are multiple things happening all at once. And as it relates to this particular question that you're asking me about in New York City, that is something that New York City needs the answers to. That is a process that they took, so they have to answer to that. And as it relates to migrants and what's happening at the border, look, the president has taken this issue very seriously by making sure that on his first day, which is almost 3 years, it'll be a couple weeks, it'll be 3 years ago, that he put forward a comprehensive immigration legislation to deal with what's happening with the immigration process, obviously, and also the border. And this is an issue that's been going on for decades. The system has been broken for decades. And the president is the one who has taken action to deal with this, while House Republicans.
Blah, 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 blah. Could you imagine being on her team? She's like, oh, that's New York's problem. Nothing to see here. Like, we're going to refuse.
That clip.
What's that?
I have a lot to say about that clip. Well,
what do you got?
Not a lot, but
what do you got?
One, it was a minute and 50-second clip. About a minute in, she's like, he's dealing with a lot of things at once. You got this and that. You picture this dude multitasking on multiple.
No.
He's like, he's dealing with inflation, immigration. Like,
great. It's called being the president of the United States.
Yeah, and this guy sucks
part of the job description.
Yeah, and then she pits that on New York, right? That's their deal. Yeah. That's what they're doing. That's why they're doing it. And then we just saw in Texas, okay, they were dealing with this in their way. Oh, but you stepped in for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Great point. Great point. 100%. It's like, okay, these people are stuck now footing the bill for our ridiculously stupid lack of enforcing our immigration laws. Now, these people have to pay to sustain them. They have to send American children home for the day. And we're not going to do anything about it. But to your point, when Texas wants to do something about it, try to prevent that from happening within their state. No, can't do that. That's our job to do. Do they want the responsibility
bring it to the Supreme
or not?
Court to shut it down?
And that's where I think ultimately we're on the right side of the equation because we do things like this. But as a person who roots for our side of the ideology here, it frustrates me that like Amy Coney Barrett and Roberts both sided with the left on this one and voted to allow the federal government to come in and do that. Sorry, long-winded way of saying it frustrates me that we have justices that get appointed as conservatives from a conservative Republican president who look at specific issues and make decisions based on that issue. That's the way we should be living in a world like that. It stinks that our team and our side is the only side that does that, because the justices that got appointed from the left, they 100% lock, stock, and barrel.
Yeah. Don't care about the Constitution
on their ideology. They don't look at so it's frustrating because our side ends up losing at times because we're more principled and we try to do each issue individually and remove our own ideology from it. The left has no problem ruling with their ideology, and that's it. So I think that's why the Republicans are weaker in Congress and stuff too. They don't stick together, where the Democrats all vote as a block all the time. So it's just frustrating. Sorry. I know I kind of went around the way to get to what I meant there, but I'm sure you see it too. Like, what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
I got something here to break up.
What do we got?
The seriousness, but
what do we got?
Old. It's old, but it's just hilarious. Again, it's I'll play it in a second, but it's like, never mind. Let me play it, then we'll react to it. But know
Okay.
that it's years ago. It's probably from the summer of mostly peaceful.
Oh, St. Floyd.
Protest, summer of love. Yeah.
Okay.
These college guys, hilarious. Watch like the hand gestures of the guy who's saying like, "Liz, come on, we got."
Definitely know we're pulling that for like our cover photo.
What?
Why are you? We're on your side. We're on your side. Holy shit! We're on your side. We're on your fucking side. What the fuck?
That's hilarious. They're trying to like give him like support.
Yeah, but he's like flashing him with the light and being like, flat camera, flash him. Yeah, we got thumbs up. We got you right on. Power.
Yeah.
And they start throwing bricks in their windows because that's what you get. And and then the other kid, what the heck? Come on, you didn't see this? We're on your side. You didn't see the fist? The guy's like,
awesome.
like he has the camera in the thing, which is obviously just reflecting on it. There's no way you see a thumbs up.
Yeah.
They're throwing bricks in their window.
Dude.
They're playing beer pong. We're like, dude, we did the thing.
We're in. We're in on this. F the police.
Yeah. Dude, and the dorm. What are those people called? The dorm officers. Yeah, dorm authorities. What?
TA?
Oh yeah, teacher's assistant.
Oh no,
I said
no,
the
dorm
TA, which is
person.
Yeah, but I said
the rec person, the RA, resident assistant.
Yeah, resident assistant. When you said TA, I said dorm authority. That means district attorney, right?
Oh, that's great.
District attorney.
That might be what Rachel Rollins is TA of.
I hate beer pong in here.
Yeah, they don't like that. They're out there.
Funny.
Oh, that's great. What what else we got? We got another one?
Yeah, I got a good one. CJ Stroud. Want that one?
Oh, this kid's great. You guys know about him? You know about him, right, Juice? CJ Stroud, number 2 pick in the NFL draft last year. Rookie, great season. But more importantly, he believes that football is his platform to spread the word of Jesus Christ. And impressive young man here. So I think we got something from him after a season-ending loss the other day.
Got a lot of great people who have reached out, and even guys after games, like who are who just talk about like how I mentioned God and Christ and things like that. And I always tell people it's not me, you know what I'm saying? It's him. Like it's nothing I can do to ever repay what the Lord has done in my life, and I don't want to. I just want to act in what he's called me to do, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not perfect. I make mistakes every day, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I know the God that I serve is a forgiving and graceful God, and I can just appreciate that. And even like Coach Harbaugh, even saying that after they beat us, like you can just see like there's a lot of us out here too that love the Lord, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I appreciate everybody who reaches out, and I'm not doing it to look cool or whatever. I'm doing it because that's what God called me to do.
Oh boy.
Right on.
You with me still?
Yeah, you don't see me?
Nice. No, I see you there. It seemed like the video glitched out on me at the end there. But regardless, what a great thing to say, huh? I love the head on this guy's shoulders. And how many other people, like your number 2 overall pick, you were a stud quarterback at Ohio State. You're making millions of dollars, and this guy's up there talking about football isn't the most important thing I'm doing in my life. The most important thing I'm doing is talking about, the Savior, the Lord, Christ. And he was reacting there because I think he must have been asked about how he's treated amongst his peers and colleagues, because he is someone who every time he speaks, he speaks about God. So
any truth to
asked about it.
Any truth? Well, maybe I have to put it in the comments, but any truth to that thing where like one of the stations cut him off?
I'm not sure on that. Like it looked fine, but I'm just afraid of it possibly being tampered with.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't want to grab it for us. But basically, there's a video circulating on the web that looks like NBC cut out the beginning of his comments when he said, like, first and foremost, on the field after a game, this was, but he said, like, first and foremost, I want to thank the Lord Jesus Christ, and then started answering the question. And the clip that we've seen shows the full thing, and then right afterwards the edited version where that part's like spliced out. I just don't know if it was 100% or not, but I wouldn't put it past them. They do not like these people talking about God. They really don't. They're catering to a culture that doesn't believe God's message or hasn't been properly introduced to God's message, I guess I should say, because I think that's a charitable way to look at it. And I probably should start looking at it that way, as opposed to being negative like I am with a lot of things and being like, oh, these people just don't care about God.
Yeah,
again,
like he's
like,
doing. The message is, I'm saying this to people who, even players came up to me. I'm saying it out loud to bring people to it.
Absolutely.
Even
Not
versus like you don't care. You're not like, dude, everybody has a chance to be forgiven or whatever.
Absolutely. And I do think I do want to be as optimistic about this as possible, because I do think that everything we're taught from a young age nowadays in this culture and in the world that we live in is to go away from God's message, and it pulls you away from it whether you realize it or not. With everything we do, the entertainment we consume, the way we sexualize things at such a young age, the glamour and fame of Hollywood and sports, all that stuff leads you away from what's good for us and ultimately God's message. And it's just a breath of fresh air to see somebody who's in a position like that could succumb to so many of those temptations out there, and to apparently seem like he has a head on his shoulders and is letting God lead the way for him. So it's inspiring.
We have a couple more of those breaths of fresh air later on.
All right. Okay. I like that. Well, why don't we shift gears, or not really shift gears too much? It's still within the NFL here with the next thing we have. And during that little opening little monologue that we had, I kind of touched on the changing of the guard with the NFL and these new coaches. And right here, I'm selfish and self-centered, I guess. So it's going to be about the New England Patriots again, my hometown team, Juice's hometown team, but they replaced the legendary coach Bill Belichick with his former linebacker and linebackers coach Jerod Mayo. And for those who don't know who Mayo is, he's a stud athlete, played at the University of Tennessee, drafted first round, 11th or 10th overall by the Patriots, successful career, jumped into some coaching right afterwards. And he, just became the youngest head coach currently in the NFL at 37 years old by taking over for the legend Bill Belichick. And he had some interesting things to say in his first press conference that we wanted to react to. So, Juice, you got that first Mayo clip for us?
I learned a lot at Optum. Larry Renfro, Mike Mateo, those guys. I learned a lot at Optum about diversity, right? About diversity and inclusion. And you better believe it, being the first black coach here in New England means a lot to me. But those guys taught me you have to take ideas from other people, black, white, green, yellow, it really doesn't matter, old, young. One thing you'll notice about me in our interaction as we continue to go is I don't like echo chambers. I want people around me that are going to question my ideas or question the way we have done things in the past. Because realistically, this game's a lot different than when I was drafted in 2008. At the same time, that's why I try to spend so much time in developing young men and young women so they know I don't want to teach them what to think. I want to teach them how to think. And once we get to that point, I think we can get back to where we need to be at the top.
I cannot tell you how much I hate that phrase that he used towards the end there. I don't want to teach people what to think. I want to teach them how to think. How many times did we hear that as kids growing up or whatever? And I think that's one of the stupidest phrases you could ever say. No, of course you're going to teach people how to think. If you're running a football team like he's about to do, you want to be teaching people how to think the way you're thinking so that they're doing what you want them to do. They're following your scheme, your plays, your designs. You're not teaching them how to think about them. You're teaching them specifically what to think. And when you're raising children, you're teaching your children how and what to think. You're not teaching them how to go out and think about God knows what, diversity, equity, and inclusion, like this guy is mentioning. No, you're teaching them what you want to believe. When I teach my children and I learn myself about it, about my religion, about being a Catholic, about being a follower of Jesus, I'm teaching them what they should believe. We're taught every Sunday when we go to church, every week, what we believe. We profess what we believe at church. We don't profess how to think about what we're being taught. We profess what we believe because we were taught that. So it just irritates me to no end when people say that. They think it sounds cool and it's catchy and cliche. And then right off the bat, he learned a lot about diversity. And he's talking about, he took like 3 years off of coaching in between playing and coaching and got groomed in a financial business that the owners of the Patriots also own. So he's talking about learning from a group of finance, professionals, the ability or the merits of diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is your
diversify your
coach.
portfolio.
Sure, exactly. But do we? How many? I mean, it's just it's. I don't want to call it stupid because it's a great point, but I feel like it's like a childish point because it's so easy to make and we've all made it before. But does the NFL have a diverse collection of races playing on the field, or is it 70% black? Does the NBA have a diverse amount of players playing on the court, or is it 95% black? Does the NHL have a diverse collection of, or is it 95% white?
Canadian.
Canadian, yeah. But if these people really truly believed in that, they'd have a complete equal mix of different skin tones per athlete on the field. That's what sports is great about. Whether it's either you're better than me or you're not. You're a better athlete or you're not. You're working harder or you're not. You're stronger, you're bigger, you're tougher or you're not. It doesn't have anything to do with your skin tone. And to see it coming into the league is just irritating. And Mayo started right off with feeding into that BS. Do you have anything on that?
Right next to him is Mr. Kraft. Let's see what he had to say at the same press conference.
I'm really colorblind in terms of, I know what I feel like on Sunday when we lose. And I can just tell you that there's nothing after my family, my passion is with the New England Patriots. And there's something else very close second, but winning at the Patriots is my passion. So I want to get the best people I can get. I chose the best head coach for this organization. He happens to be a man of color, but I chose him because I believe he's best to do the job.
I mean,
saying opposite shit, like, right?
Absolutely. And it's interesting. We got another one from Mayo coming up. Completely contradicts what old man Kraft said about colorblind right here. And say what you want about Kraft. He always looks like he's like half in the bag and wasted. He's looked like that since the 90s. But I don't see color.
Mayo was like, oh, fuck. He was
Yeah,
looking around.
exactly. But that is the way you want somebody to think. Like, I don't care what he looks like. I hired him because I think he's the best man to do the job. Now we can debate whether we believe him when he says that or if that's BS, because that's a whole nother story, in my opinion. But he said the right thing to say PR wise and in a press conference. And then we go back to Mr. Mayonnaise. And I think this is what he had to say.
Yeah, before we get into that though, but the easiest way to put this is like when you bring in your own safety, right? People have talked about it. I go to this example a lot, like, Alaska Airlines or United Airlines is trying to hire, diversify the pilot crew. We're trying to hire X. No, you're not. You shouldn't be. Who's the one that's going to get you from the ground in LaGuardia to, SFO? That would be the person that I would like to fly on. I don't care if they're trans, but we have our opinions on that stuff, or black, white, colored, whatever. Like, who's the safest pilot? Who's the best pilot?
Exactly.
Put me
Who's
on
the
that
most
flight.
qualified.
Yeah, put me on that one.
Yeah.
Here's mayonnaise.
What I will say though is I do see color, because I believe if you don't see color, you can't see racism. And whatever happens, black, white, disabled person, I've always, even someone with disabilities, I always, for the most part, people are like, when they're young, they kind of make the spot hot. Younger people know what that means. But what I would say is, like, no, I want you to be able to go up to those people and really understand those people. So it goes back to whatever it is, black, white, yellow, it really doesn't matter, but it does matter so we can try to fix a problem that we all know we have.
It doesn't really matter, but it does matter so we can fix the problem that we all know we have. What problem
Don't
is
blow
that?
up the spot. Don't blow up the spot.
Don't blow up the spot. He, to be
we have
honest
an
with you,
Asian wheelchair guy here.
yeah.
You know
What
what
was
I'm
that?
saying?
That LD episode, Wendy wheelchair and Nancy handicapped? Oh no, Denise handicapped and Wendy wheelchair. He had them saved in his phone. But it's like, this guy, like,
And the
could
guy
you
who
be
just
any more
hired him
insulting?
or whatever, and was like, I didn't see color. He's the right guy for the job. He's like, well, I see color.
Yeah, I see
Like,
a lot of
fucking
it.
makes it.
Color. I see color. And you know what? Not for nothing. I see that handicapped person over there too. What are you doing to us?
Hey,
Oh, see
don't
the guy in the
blow up
wheelchair?
Hey, don't make the spot hot.
Anybody notice this? This guy, we got a paraplegic over here. Like, are you kidding me? Like, how immature could you be? Like, he's trying to, like, he just started rambling. He didn't know what to say. He got himself stuck.
Years
And he starts bringing in, oh, we got someone with Down syndrome, a wheelchair. We got a leper over there. Like, am I supposed to still be talking? Huh? I mean, don't make it hot. Don't make it hot.
The spot's hot, dude. The spot is hot now.
And we all just, at the end of the day, we got to end it. We got to end it all. End racism. I need to see.
We don't see color, but we see it because we have to see it.
Spray painting in the back of the end zone, please. End racism. That's what's going to do it.
Inspire change.
Thank you.
Be love.
Just ridiculous.
Be love.
Be love. All right. I know I'm sports heavy this week, so I apologize. Don't give me a thumbs down, Cousin Bonnie, this week. And don't tell me my topics are old or anything like that, because the stuff is relevant. Okay? It's important this week. So I'm sorry if it's sports centric, but we have something else in the sports universe, NFL, and it's the brothers Harbaugh. Where have we been with these two? I've been sleeping on these guys.
I hate it.
Far too long. The khakis and the glasses, and then John couldn't stand that guy coaching the Ravens. Remember we watched that missed kick by Tucker when he was like a rookie in your Arlington apartment or the house when you guys had that for a little bit, house sitting. That was a great game. But the Patriots and the Ravens had some heated playoff games, and I just have never liked Baltimore. Can't stand them. Jim Harbaugh maybe a little bit more. But anyways, these two guys, they're both head coaches in the NFL. Jim Harbaugh is the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, who just won the college championship. He's probably getting an NFL job. That's why Juice was making that face. He's going to jump back in where he used to coach in the NFL, I think. And his brother, John Harbaugh, coaches the Ravens. Now, where I said I've been sleeping on them is I didn't realize that these two men were both devout Christians based on the stuff they said. We mentioned it. I think we mentioned it on the show, or I said it to Juice privately. Love that John Harbaugh, the Ravens coach, on Christmas night came out of the tunnel at halftime and said, well, first of all, I'd like to say Merry Christmas to everybody out there, and then answered the reporter's question. I was like, okay. It wasn't like a happy holidays.
Merry Christmas, you old building and loan.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And Jim Harbaugh has come out and made statements in the past for advocating for pro-life positions. In fact, actually, if you don't mind, Juice, before we show the clip of Jim Harbaugh, who made a little introduction of somebody else at the March for Life this past week. This is something I saw from his past that he had said. So I want to just read you the quote that he gave when he was asked about his stance on abortion and pro-life and this, that, and the other thing. So he said, I've told them the same thing I tell my kids, boys, the girls, same thing I tell our players, our staff members. I encourage them that if they have a pregnancy that was unplanned, to go through with it. Let that unborn child be born. And if at that time you don't feel like you can care for it, you don't have the means or the wherewithal, then Sarah and I will take that baby. End quote. That's what he had said in the past. What he would do for his players, for young people that feel like they couldn't do it. And I love that. I say amen to that all day. So I'd known that he was like a pro-life advocate before. And then he just, like I said, his team just won the national championship, the Michigan Wolverines. And he showed up to the March for Life this past Friday, and he was in the crowd. There's been video going around about that. But then he introduced one of the speakers, a former New England Patriot, by the way, Benjamin Watson. But Harbaugh introduced him, and I think we get the clip of that.
Yeah, and as you'll see in the clip, I mean, it looks brutal out there. So
freezing.
The people that went to this DC.
We need to go one year, man.
Day.
We need to go.
Absolutely. Here you go.
Thank you all for being here. It's a great example that you're setting. It's testimony for the sanctity of life. It's a great day for a march. It's a great day. This is football weather. Let's go. What an incredible honor to get to introduce Ben Watson, talented individual on the field, talented, courageous, fearless leader off the field. He's making a difference in the lives of so many. It's my pleasure to introduce somebody who speaks truth, clarity, and grace, combines bold conviction with kindness, fearless, humble, and courageous, proud father of the Watson 7, a helpful warrior for the sanctity of life. Please give a great welcome to Benjamin Watson.
That was good.
Chills. Right?
Absolutely.
Not because of the weather out there. The Watson 7.
He'll be here all week, folks.
When they panned across, though, like it looked like, Bill's tailgate.
It did. And you know what? My priest here in Scituate, he gave his sermon this past week, the homily, and he was talking about going there. He went with a group from Massachusetts, and he said they went to like mass before the walk, and it's a church that holds 10,000 people, 10,000 seats, and he said it was standing room only. People in the basement, spilling out on the sides, like standing in. And he said young people, high schoolers, college kids, and he said he was impressed at the fact that they were able to articulate why they were there. And they knew why they were there, and that's good. That's hope for all of us, and that's something you'll never see on Rachel Maddow's channel. They won't cover that. They'll take the coverage from the March for Life themselves, scan over it, look over it, sift through it, and then they'll find somebody doing something stupid and show you that. They won't show you the 10,000 plus, religious people praying that we can, one day do an end to one of the most despicable things this country's ever known. They won't show you that. So it was nice to see that. What do you think about Jim Harbaugh, Juice?
Love it. Huge Harbaugh guy now. I don't like the cheating scandal. Oh, I don't know. I don't really care. But is he the guy?
Made up anyways. He was the guy. But how about his brother?
I got a shirt. I ordered a shirt recently. I'll try to wear it next week or whatever. And this will really trigger people, but I don't know what the nomenclature is if it's unborn or preborn. But preborn lives matter. That'll really rub people the wrong way, right? Oh, you're anti-BLM, but you're also, pro-life.
Yep.
That's gonna hurt some feelings. All right,
Absolutely.
Preborn lives matter.
It's true. It's true. I love it. Good job. All right. So shifting over to the other Harbaugh, his brother John. Now he actually beat CJ Stroud's team in the playoffs this past weekend, the Houston Texans. So Baltimore beat Houston, and this is how Coach Harbaugh decided to open up his press conference after the big victory. And I think it was great.
I want to start off with this. This is something that was sent to me before the game, and it just is meaningful to me, so I'm going to share it with you because I think it's the right thing to do. And it's a verse. Greatness, power, glory, victory, and honor belong to you because everything in heaven and on earth belongs to you. The kingdom belongs to you, Lord. You are the head and the ruler over everything. So there's an amazing spirit on this team, and just want to kind of give honor and glory where it's due. With that,
want to give honor and glory where it's due. That's after winning a big playoff game. Like great.
We got good guys on this team, and they did great. But I like how we gave them props a bit. But
yeah,
that comes from
absolutely. Absolutely. And I wanted to give honor to you, to you. It's awesome. It was great. So, like I said, where have we been with the Harbaugh brothers? I think I have to pull for him now. I want him to beat Mahomes and the Chiefs and the whole Taylor Swift thing. Hopefully that goes down on Sunday, but we'll see. What do you think, Juice?
We'll have your highlights here next week. Let's go to Karen down on the field.
All right. Tell us in the comments who you guys think is going to win.
Yeah.
Baltimore or KC. All right. All right. That's pretty much the topics we wanted to hit. We have one more thing to go until we can let you guys, say goodnight. I think we like to call this segment the Come On Man segment of the day. And typically we came up with this, Juice, right? Before Buc-ee's decided to sponsor it, but we came up with this as the idea for a segment when somebody says, does, reacts in a specific way that even though we're going to make fun of them here for a couple of minutes, there's really not much else we can say to them except, come on, man. So
come on, man.
Oh, there he is.
I got that back.
Come on,
I
man.
love it.
Come on, man.
Woo. He was a bad dude. I love it.
All right, you ready for this?
All right. Yeah.
You want to set it up or you want to go?
Yeah. Do you remember who it is? Is it somebody like some sort of military member, strong, hulking, military general or something?
Yeah,
I forget what it is.
It's I think it's Mark Milley's. Is that his name? Mark Milley? Sergeant Millie's, Captain Millie,
Sergeant
like
Millie?
whatever.
Yep.
Second in command. Here we go.
Inclusion is a national security imperative. We fight today, and we are going to fight in the future using brain power. And if that brain, who's going to revolutionize the way we fight in space, we fight in cyber, just happens to be in a trans body, you should want them all serving alongside me. And for your organizations, it's the same way. Those perspectives that we get from a diverse set of individuals, it's been talked about on stage a lot regarding the science behind high-performing teams. We need those perspectives. But it's inclusion that actually drives that. Because you can bring people in, and if they don't feel safe to speak up, if they don't feel safe to bring their full selves to work, you're not going to get the value of the diversity.
Do you feel safe to say the types of things that we say here on this show in your workplace around people you don't know? Do you feel like that's valued, the opinion we're sharing here? You feel like that would be accepted? Do you feel like that would be welcomed? Because I don't. I definitely don't. And think about what we saw with the Mayo stuff from the Patriots. He talked about seeing color because diversity was the strength, right? And this guy in the military saying, put that brain into anybody. It doesn't matter what they look like. Doesn't matter who it is. We want that brain in there. So those to me kind of contradict with each other. Should it matter if it's a trans lesbian cross-dresser, or what if it's a straight white man, straight white Christian man? If that's the best brain for the job and the best brain, shouldn't that person get it? Where these people just are walking contradiction, because they wouldn't give it to the straight white man. They would give it to the transgender man in a female costume in the military, or they'd give it to a black, inexperienced head coach as opposed to somebody that might look differently than them
in a wheelchair,
present differently. Yeah. It's just like the trans thing doesn't mix with like anything that the left has been in favor of forever. They used to.
I think it's sorry.
No, go ahead.
My thing going back to any of it is who's the best person for the thing. We don't need to be filling quotas in order to make the best product, the safest transportation, the this or that.
Yeah.
And that's
merit trumps all, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what it should be. Like it's crazy. And that's where like the trans thing doesn't fit with like any of the other stuff from the left. Cause like when you hear anything about like gay issues, they're born this way, like, right? Oh, I can't do it. I can't help who I'm sexually attracted to. Yet the trans person was born in the wrong body, or like, no, you were born that way. That's who you are. That's what you should
when
be.
They're saying black, yellow, brown, green, or whatever. It's like, okay, they're all the same people. It's whatever their brain. Yeah,
exactly.
We're not talking about.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me how these people can sit there with a straight face and make those types of arguments or try to say that type of stuff. And tell you one thing, say what you want about any of it, but Rocket Boy in North Korea and China and Russia and the Houthis and the Palestinian movement, they're all laughing at us. These people that would be enemies of America, that whether they're active enemies or people that would prefer to be in power instead of America on the world stage, they see clips like that. They see people like that in our military. They're laughing at us. We've become a joke. And how you can continue to do that, whether this person that was delivering that commentary has any power or not, the fact that they're put in a position to represent us as a country and represent our military is a joke. They shouldn't be in that position. That person is someone who's mentally unstable, right? Unstable. But
that goes to the point of the other thing where it's like, it doesn't matter what the body, like, but when you're talking about, I'm a boy and I think I'm a girl, or I'm black and I think I'm white, or whatever. Now the mind has been corrupted a bit. So it's not just that we're talking about, oh, it's just a different skin tone or whatever.
No,
Right?
like
There's some mental incapacities going on.
absolutely. Like there's no way you can tell me that's a rational human being, because you're not. Like the very fact that you're in a full-on female military outfit, sitting there trying to tell people and convince the world that you're a girl, that tells me you're not mentally fit for, like, you're not mentally fit to make your own breakfast in the morning. Never mind go out there and represent our military on the world stage, or just on the national level. Like, no wonder why their recruiting numbers are down. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't know, but we're the bad guys for saying that. We're the authoritarians who are Trump supporters, the evil Trump supporters here that are trying to steal democracy. If that
Wait, I thought you were the sanctimonious guy.
Hey, I'm Team Trump all day, baby. Who's the nominee now? So if that person represents that man dressed as a female represents democracy, I don't want anything to do with it at this point. So done. See you later. I don't have much else to add to that person. Do you have anything else about that, Juice?
No.
No? Okay, great. Because I think usually when we wrap this part up, we tell that person that, transgender military officer, guy who's dressed like a girl, we don't really have much else to say to you except,
Come on, man. Come on, man.
boom. I love it. Well, that is the show for today. We hopefully will be back soon, right, buddy?
Yeah, maybe a week from Thursday.
I love it. I love it. We're going to start trying to lock in an actual day. I'm not going to tell you which one yet or what time, but maybe we'll even get courageous enough to live stream it while we're doing it one of these days. That'd be kind of cool. Get you guys in the comments, chiming in real time. Now that'd be fun. Pa B would have to sign up for that. All right. So with that being said, Juice, I got nothing else to say to these folks out there except
Thanks
for having us.
No, you.
The Right and Wrong Show is produced by Juice. Executive producer, Juice. Audio mixer is Juice. Hair by Skull Shavers. Wardrobe and makeup by Ashley Ruka. Right and Wrong song created by Juice. The Right and Wrong Show is copyright 2022 from Brian Ruka. One more side. Still recording.